London Real, sponsored by Bulletproof Coffee.
Success. And you will have a much better time along the way than if you're just in this to beat everybody else, including your coworkers.
Yeah, it can be a little lonely, that existence.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a famous phrase, which I think was done by an Englishman, which said, the customer is always right.
Yeah.
The Americans always repeat it, but I think it was
the guy
Selfridge,
yeah.
right? Which is the big department store here in London.
Mm-hmm. There's a TV show now called Selfridge.
Oh, there is? Yeah, I heard about it. Yeah.
Just started.
I have to check that out. Now, it's a mantra that is, repeated constantly.
And it is, of course, complete bullshit.
Okay, so tell me why. Tell me why.
Here's the thing. What happens in a lot of workplaces is that customer-facing employees, your customer service people, get beaten over the head with this mantra. Let's say you're a cabin attendee, you're a salesperson, you're a clerk, you're whatever, and you have this really rude, unpleasant, demanding customer, and you're just trying to enforce the rules. And the customer will come in and say, well, the customer is always right. I demand to talk to the manager, and the manager will come in and just side immediately with the customer.
It's standard operating procedure in this
case. And just give the customer whatever they want.
And the salesperson feels horrible, right?
This is such a betrayal, basically, right? And what happens is that I think this is wrong on so many levels. First of all, I think this is it's a betrayal of the customer service employee, and that person will feel awful. They were just trying to do their job. They were just trying to enforce the rules, and now they get criticized for that. But what also happens is that the worst of your customers actually get exactly what they want. The nice people, the nice customers who don't complain, they get nothing. But the people who are rude and demanding get whatever they want. And I think that is really unfair as well. So in my mind, what you got to do in this situation is stick up for your employees. As a manager, you got to come in and say, I realize that you as a customer are really unhappy, but this is the policy. My employee did the exact right thing. I'm sorry. I think that is what you need to do. And I've heard from workplaces where this is what they do, and it just reinforces this sense of trust in the employees. Because, I follow the rules, I do the right thing, and I don't get criticized for it. In fact, I get rewarded and praised for doing the right thing.
Yeah,
and that makes much more sense than the customer's always right crap.
Okay. Yeah, Tim Ferriss from the 4-Hour Workweek, he was our guest about a year ago. And in his book, he talks about these really critical customers that would always harass him and give him the hardest time. And he would just get rid of them because they would give him like 80% of the stress and 20% of the return. And he just said, look, this is as far as my service goes, and I can't do business with you.
My favorite story is from Southwest Airlines, which are a very happy workplace.
Yeah, very famous company.
Yes, and apparently one of their VPs was at the airport and waiting in line to get a ticket, and in front of her there's a really rude customer, and he's just berating the customer service employee. He's just really rude and unpleasant. And at one point, the VP, she's just had enough. So she goes up, she takes him by the arm, she says, "Excuse me, sir, I'm a vice president of Southwest Airlines, please come with me." And she takes him over to the Delta counter, and she buys a ticket on Delta for him. And she's like, "Yeah, you please fly somebody else."
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very bold statement. I like